A link down below as always if you want to read this on your own. I was not able to cover this yesterday when it came out. Parties on PC fixed an issue with online presence not updating properly, which prevented players from joining and getting into games as a party. For example, if a player is invited to join a party, but is already in one, you will receive a message stating player name is already in a party. We expect more improvements in the next update as well as an issue that's been addressed where parties dropped out after a match ended and were unintentionally sent back to the main menu where they belong. Added a visual indicator that someone in a party cannot be invited to another party. PC. If you are in a match and accept a party invite on PC, you'll now be sent back to the main menu to join the party. Fixed an issue where a party member was not brought into the game with the game leader when using a server browser. Accepting a party invite while in-game will no longer cover the disconnects prompt with the control screen. The queue timer will no longer continue to count down if ownership is transferred from the party leader after starting a matchmaking session. The party member icon will no longer disappear from the scoreboard after being in a party while loading another session from a prior one. Set party voice playback to use the same device output as the game audio. Party members will now see a voice indication in the UI for themselves and other party members when speaking. Performance. The Xbox Series X will now play as intended, 60 frames per second. Fixed a performance issue where player corpses would negatively impact performance. Improved overall performance during the Lion Spire banner stage. Fixed some movement correction that happened while jumping. Combat weapons. Reduce players' ability to significantly backwards drag before a swing, or an issue where players visually sprinted sideways too much in third person. Active riposte and counter durations now continue for remaining duration if attack is feinted/transitions to heavy attack. Fixed attacking queue issues so players will now be able to more successfully initiate a follow-up parry, attack, or dash. Kick jab special cooldown is now refreshed when entering interrupting states. Fixed server movement correction on dodging and jumping caused visual jittering to occur for players. Bandage kits no longer deal damage to teammates. Friendly archers are better at this already. Fixed an issue where a player could get stuck with fists and unable to attack after climbing a ladder. Or an issue where initiating a combat action immediately after doing a VO line did not work. Get your taunts ready. Fixed a bug with the greatsword parry where player collision would not match their position when their parry was broken. Temporarily disabled one-handed spear to rework animation sets and make it more readable. Added missing impact sounds and impact sparks. Added a cooldown when using a kick into an attack. Fixed an issue where picking up a damaged constructible would cause it to be invulnerable next time it was placed. Animation. Visually fixed the player's feet not moving during a jump and when landing a jump. Or a sprint turn animation not being in sync between clients and third person. Fixed animation popping in one person, third person, when canceling attack into another attack. Or an animation break that occurred when attacking right after parry recovery. Or removed sliding that occurred when attacking while strafing forward in third person. Fixed legs being stuck in idle while moving around and fighting. Give this video a thumbs down and I'll make sure it's more than your legs that are stuck in idle. Fixed an animation freezes after getting hit during a heavy slash feint to jab with a shield. Fixed server physics for interrupts not playing animations. And animation stutters with a combo to alt feint. Crashes and disconnects. Fixed an Xbox crash that occurred when resuming from a suspended state while on the store menu, and when attempting to use saved data from an Xbox One X console on an Xbox Series S console. Fixed a PS4, PS5 crash that occurred when loading into the tutorial, or a crash that could occur when dismounting a ladder, or a crash during post-game screen transition, or an issue where the crossbowman could get disconnected from the server during regular gameplay. They were being booted because nobody wants to see a crossbowman. Customization. Removed various exploits used to equip locked items. I know of no such thing. Fixed the hair not adjusting to the character's head sizes. I'm suffering from that issue. Fixed white gray hair color not being able to be equipped. Malric's grandmother could not be more excited. And as well as an issue where female heads would reset to male heads. I have no comment on that. Maps. Added more tickets to the map fighting pit. So do what you do best, knights, and die more. Fixed a visual issue with large doors in the fighting pit not visually opening. Removed the center spawns and FFA tournament grounds for balancing purposes. And as well as an issue where players sometimes missed the initial spawn at the start of the match. In terms of the UI, we fixed a server browser max player count not displaying correctly, or an issue where loadout screen weapon info doesn't update on class change. Missing voice UI to indicate a party member was talking with the speaking icon, as well as various flow issues surrounding parties, maintaining party status after a match ends, etc., and fixed various missing localizations. Audio. The thrown weapon impacts are now using the proper sound sets. They'll now sound a bit less like an 80s arcade fighter game. Commander battle cries have been made louder. They may have had too much ale pre-battle. Party voice playback now uses the same device output as the game audio, as well as other various audio sound effect mix refinements. Other changes. Improved matchmaking for PlayStation users receiving matchmaking failed messages. Fixed an issue where teams sometimes started overly imbalanced after a map travel. The Order will have to find some new way to come out on top. Made tweaks to class, global, and weapon XP requirements. Updated crown prices across regions. And alongside the patch notes, Torn Banner has also addressed some of the noteworthy issues that are still being addressed. These are known issues here that are still being looked into. PC Epic Game Store Friends Online status may not always be accurate, and party invites may fail. That's because they ran off to Steam, the proper platform, even though the game's not there, and that's not the point. Parties made on PC that enter together in server browser will only have the party leader enter successfully. Cross-platform parties. Our team has worked to pivot to review the possibility of providing a feature of cross-platform parties as quickly as possible. Console-specific issues here. The Xbox One customization / weapons are loading in late. No comment. PlayStation. Asia region users with default controls O button for enter and X button for back. Makes most UI inaccessible. Swapping these so that the X's enter in your system settings is a workaround. Gameplay still being looked into. Players may still experience desync when falling off of the pushable siege ramps. Players sometimes may not sprint from the initial spawn. Players should stop and start again to fix. Players during a pushable objective stage may teleport briefly. UI alt attack rebinds don't work specifically on tournament grounds. Some players will have a global rank 1 appear on the scoreboard despite their rank appearing properly in the pause menu. Some keys can't be bound as expected. Rebinding certain keys will make get up and special item binds appear to use controller binds. Again, these are all issues still going on that they're aware of. Customization. Archer secondary weapon skin does not apply the skin in game. Items available for purchase by default show new item notifications. For maps, Red Helm Siege, Tower Ramp may launch players. I'm going to have to check that out. Dark Forest respawn timers may not be accurate. Gamepad players may battle cry despite selecting other emotes occasionally. Audio. Heartbeat audio can get in a state between matches where it persists. Visual. DX12 VRS can cause visual artifacting on some maps. Tournament grounds, for example. You may have taken notice that certain issues or features were not mentioned in these patch notes. This is simply due to the development team's continuing mission to resolve and refine these issues, and to ensure they meet the level of quality that you come to expect. With that said, we'd like to provide a general status on some of these items nonetheless. Please keep in mind that these items do not constitute everything the team is working on, and are always subject to change, as the team may pivot as needed during development as priorities change or development ends up taking longer than expected at the onset. Console server browser. Work on this feature is underway, and we expect this to be available to players in a future update. We don't have any more specific time frame to share currently, but we'll keep you updated. PlayStation cross-generation parties, PS4 to PS5. This work is underway, however, there is significant risk involved here, the potential for one or more platforms being unable to play online. That requires this to have further testing before it's ready to release. Cross-platform parties. The work here is very early, and the team is evaluating several potential routes to bring this to players. Please continue to stay tuned for future updates. The team is also investigating reports of server performance degradation, and players being match-made outside of an appropriate region. PS5 players are not receiving their special edition items and purchases. We are actively working with our partners to determine the cause of this, but fully expect players to receive their items when this has been resolved. For now, digital Chivalry 2 customers can work around this by installing the PlayStation 4 version and launching it. Unfortunately, the above digital workaround does not work for physical Chivalry 2 copies. As mentioned, we're actively working with our partners on a solution. And obviously, once a new patch is out for Chivalry 2, they will be sure to let their readers know, and I will be sure to narrate the patch notes, because that's just fucking exciting, isn't it? As always, you know it's coming. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That's right, here I am. You didn't like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Put you in a wrist lock as always, and I'll snap it off in your ass. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, do I really need to elaborate on that? Of course it would be fantastic. It would be wonderful. But if not, that's okay. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. Maybe I'll see some of you in the next video. Bye for now.